Okay, so I should start my lecture. Good morning, all again in our session. My name is Gubrej Chandra Sen, and I am teach you TY BCom Business Economics. In TY BCom Business Economics, we started semester number 5. Under semester 5 already we learn module 1 about a new economic policy in India, and module second, agricultural policies in India. This is our topic, right? In a previous lecture we already learned in that lectures what is meant by classification of agricultural finance in India. There are the based on duration, short term, medium term, and long term. And also we discussed the some sources of finance. First focus on non-institutional sources, that comes to the non-banking sources. We can say that purposefully you can see in rural areas there are the can say the sahukars, landlords, goldsmiths, sonar jala आपण म्हणतो, they are the taken loans from that all people. Also we learn that merits is what and also demerits is what. Clear? Under whether you observing Indian farmers condition, there is a many challenges, so that farmers prefers to the non-institutional sources. Clear? I think now you are on my screen. Whether you see my screen, please replay me, then I continue the today's topic. Yes, you are on my screen, I think. I'm right. Yes, very good, Saurav. So today we going on next source of finance. First is a non-institutional, already we discussed. Now comes to the institutional source. Can you tell me what is the main difference between institutional and non-institutional source? Are you understand my question first? What is the difference between institutional and non-institutional credit source? काय या दोघांमध्ये फरक काय आहे एक्झॅक्टली? काय सांगाल तुम्ही? My question is understand first or not? माझा क्वेश्चन तुम्हाला समजलेला आहे का? कशाला म्हणूया आपण ऍग्रिकल्चरल सोर्सेस आणि कशाला म्हणायचं नाही? म्हणजे दॅट सोर्स institutional means legal procedure. Yes, absolutely right. And non-institutional, there are the less follow the procedure to offering the loans to farmers. हाच याच्यामध्ये मेन डिफरन्स आहे. Here the source in India. Clear? After teaching topic, I ask you finally that question. Keep in mind, which source preferable to the agriculture? That we discuss to the later. Okay, now we going on then institutional source of credit. Can you tell me which is sources under come to in this category? My question is understand first. Huh? Which source under come to these category? That is called institutional source of credit. Are you understand my question again? नॉन इन्स्टिट्यूशनल तर पाहून झाले आपले सगळे. मग इन्स्टिट्यूशनल सोर्सेस कोणते असू शकतात किंवा आहेत? येस प्लीज. So and so source, you can say the institutional source. बोला. कशाला आपल्याला इन्स्टिट्यूशनल सोर्सेस म्हणता येईल? Which can we say here that is the institutional sources of credit? Yes, commercial bank, absolutely right, Sushti. Zone. बोला. Absolutely right, NABARD, National Board of Agriculture. RBI not directly give the loans to agriculture, but yes, you understand the source of credit to agriculture. Yes, की म्हणजे तुम्हाला माहित तरी आहे, चांगली गोष्ट आहे की. Yes, absolutely right, Purnima. There are some cooperative banks finance give the agriculture in India, right? So see here, the institutional credit has been conceived to play a pivotal, is important, prime in agricultural development of India. Our before independence, you know very well, there is a British rule in India. After independence, there is a change in economic structure. We comes to the British India to independent India, and now we have to complete republic in 2021, where 70 years can complete to our republic. Within 70 years and that more the period, we are trying to achieve to develop to our agriculture. Because agriculture is a primary sector of our state, our nation, and policymakers is always subject is what to how to develop the agriculture, and they purposefully work on institutional credit, and they know and we also really read some newspapers and all, how non-institutional sources burden on farmers. What I tell you here, how the non-institutional sources burden on farmers, that we learn, we observe. So government purposefully farmers carry to non-institutional source to institutional source. But that is also reality, we cannot deny that. In India, most of the farmers take a loan, and loan recovery and all issues you know very well. That is another part. I'm never say that loan you don't take loan for a project purpose. You must take loan, or other you where you see in secondary sector or tertiary sector that all institutions taken loans. But most of the time that loans go to the actual output. But in India, agriculture and output, there is a too much gap. Indian farmers invest more in agriculture, but when comes to the question of sale, then faces the problem. So here is not a debate of that topic. Why take a loans? Loan is required. But problem is what? That loans, when they provide to farmers, and farmer life, we are trying to understand many times 365 days in life of farmer, there is too much problems, there is too much challenges. That is another side of Indian farmers, and that farmers many times exploited by the under non-institutional credit. That is the reason government changed the path of non-institutional credit to institutional credit. Under institutional credit, there are the large number of institutional agencies are involved in disbursement of credit to agriculture. What do here? One more thing is what? Large institutions, large institutional agencies are involved in disbursement of agriculture credit. And however, that persistence of money lenders in the rural credit markets is still a major concern. Major is a prime concern, where the money lenders in the rural credit market is still a major, is prime role of that all. They tackling money lenders in rural credit market are still in major. That is, you never think that where government started to the institutional source and all, you totally started that existed non-institutional source of credit, you never be banned. Yes, you can make some rules and regulations, but already we learn in merits of institutional non-institutional credit that process is very easy and all, as compared to the institutional rules, guidelines, conditions and all. Clear? So that can you seen in India, where you focus to the structure of agricultural credit system in India, that system is quite different. Under the structure of agricultural credit system in India, there is a two parallel wings of cooperative come into the existence. One for providing short-term credit to farmers. इंडियामध्ये कोऑपरेटिव्ह इन्स्टिट्यूशन पहिल्या खूप डॉमिनंट होते कशासाठी? फार्मर्सला लोन देण्यासाठी. आज पण आहेत, पण त्यांचा शेअर थोडा फार्मर्सला लोन द्यायचा तो कमी झालेला आहे. क्लिअर? And one more important is that what short-term credit structure is existing in most parts of the country. It is federal in structure with their 3-tier system. Cooperative बँकेचं loan providing structure आहे की नाही? They are come on 3 tiers. In the tier there is comes to the short term, medium term and long term. Right? Here that credit of farmer short-term credit structure to existing in most parts of country. It is federal in structure with their that tier system. Here what you learn to structure of agricultural system in India. Here is two parallel wings of cooperative come into the existence. Two parallel wings which can be developed to the cooperative movements in India. Clear? So we are trying to one by one see the all structure of Indian credit. So on our screen you are seeing the tree diagram. I hope you seen that properly. In upper of the diagram there is comes to the Government of India, Reserve Bank of India, that is RBI. Then NABARD, that is National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. Then under the rural development, that banks, commercial banks, rural cooperative credit institutions, regional rural banks. And regional rural rural cooperative banks credit institutions have divided into the long-term credit and short-term credit structure, right? And under that banks comes to the state cooperative agriculture and rural development banks, and primary cooperative agriculture and rural development banks. In comes to the long-term loans and short-term loans, state cooperative banks, district central cooperative bank, primarily agriculture credit section, and finally depositor. Yes, they are all are the connected. Depositor and borrowers. No one bank without run by depositors and borrowers. कोणती बँक डिपॉझिट किंवा borrowers वर रन होऊ शकत नाही. तर फोकस करूया आपण याच्यामध्ये वन बाय वन. So now we see here flow of institutional credit to rural. Clear? How here that source is running. We are trying to understand. But first of all, you have to see here agriculture and allied activities, where you seen the structure. The share of institutional credit increased substantially within these sectors. Cooperative and commercial banks have been playing major roles in rural agricultural credit. Clear? So that is the reason we are now discuss briefly how they play an important role in rural economy, or we can say the agriculture. So here is C1 schedule. I'm explain you very easily. See, here shows the agencies, and that all agencies are come to the institutional sources. So first is what? Cooperative, second commercial banks, and third one is the regional rural banks. Now see here, after independence means 1970, there is a 77% loan given by agriculture to cooperative banks to agriculture. That ratio is see here continuously decline. First is 77, see on screen, then 55.90. In year 2001, 39.00 means continuous decline. 77, then 55, then 39, then 17, and finally 13.40. Vice versa, commercial banks see here, initially 21, then 38, then 53, 72, and now 75. This is shows the agriculture and allied activities percentage share, right? And regional rural banks, initially 2%, then 5, then 8, then 10, and 11. And that do the summation of all, then comes to the 100. Now see here that above table shows that total institutional credit in 2016. See in the table. माझ्याकडे बघू नका, जरा त्या टेबल कडे बघा छानपणे. तर तो टेबल काय दाखवतो इन इयर 2016, that shows the 75% comes from commercial banks and only 13.4% comes to the cooperative, and see here 11.60% comes to the regional rural banks, right? But one more note that here, what is you note here, it is not very encouraging to note that the cooperative share has been declined over the period. कोऑपरेटिव्ह बँकेचा शेअर कमी होणं हे चांगलं नाहीये, दुप्पट वाढायला पाहिजे होता. तो वाढलाय कोणाचा? कमर्शियल बँक म्हणजे गव्हर्नमेंट, काय म्हणतो, व्यापारी बँक आपण ज्याला म्हणतो, ट्रेडिंग बँक्स, दॅट शेअर इज एनकरेजिंग. Cooperative and regional rural banks, which are specially meant and committed to the agricultural finance, must be more active in the finance this sector. पहिल्या त्या खूप ऍक्टिव्ह होत्या, कोण? कोऑपरेटिव्ह बँक्स. पण नंतर त्या म्हणजे रिजनल रुरलचं सोडून ती एस्टॅब्लिशमेंट नंतरची, पण ऑलरेडी पहिल्या कोऑपरेटिव्ह बँक्स खूप ऍक्टिव्ह होत्या, नंतर त्या कमी कमी होत गेल्या. तिथे कोणी ते कॅप्चर केलं सगळं? दे ऑल आर द कॅप्चर बाय commercial banks. Yeah. So this is the scenario where change to the banking system in India. Now we focus one by one what we will show in that here schedule. See here. So now we focus on first commercial banks. आपण पहिला मग एकावरती फोकस करूया, commercial banks. In India, government of Indira Gandhi in 1969 nationalization of the banks. What are you saying that what is meant by nationalization? बँकेचं नॅशनलायझेशन केलं म्हणजे नेमकं काय केलं? माझा क्वेश्चन समजला का तुम्हाला? पहिला, there is a nationalization of banks in 1969. म्हणजे नेमकं काय केलं? What actually do here? आणि हे ऍब्सोल्युटली गव्हर्नमेंटनेच केलं असणार, दुसरं कोण करणार आहे? पण नेमकं काय केलं? What do exactly by government? They nationalized to the bank means, but what exactly? नॅशनलायझेशन केलं म्हणजे नेमकं काय केलं त्यांनी? बोला. Are you understand my question first? They do the nationalization mean, but what exactly they do? Yes, please. I'm waiting your answer, please. त्यांनी काय केलं एक्झॅक्टली? नॅशनलायझेशन केलं म्हणजे नेमकं काय केलं? No, nationalization. Private bank sector are converted into the public. That's absolutely right. Private banks share or percentage that purchased by bank government. Simple. जे प्रायव्हेट गुड्स होती ती काय केली? पब्लिक गुड केली. म्हणजे गव्हर्नमेंटने ते प्रायव्हेट बँक्स विकत घेतली गव्हर्नमेंटला. ओनरशिप ट्रान्सफर फ्रॉम private companies, private individuals to the governments. जी ओनरशिप एके वेळेस कोणाकडे होती? ती प्रायव्हेट इन्व्हेस्टर्स कडे होती. तीच कोणाकडे घेण्यात आली? दे टेकन that ownership by the government, and that do when they do here in the year 1969 गव्हर्नमेंट ऑफ इंदिरा गांधीच गव्हर्नमेंट होत्या त्यावेळेस प्राईम मिनिस्टर त्या होत्या आणि 14 बँकांचं त्यांनी का केलं तर ऍग्रिकल्चरला फायनान्स करण्यासाठी केलं. ही लाईन लक्षात ठेवा. They play a comparatively less significant role till the nationalization of major commercial bank in 1969. जोपर्यंत नॅशनलायझेशन नव्हतं तोपर्यंत या बँकाचा काय रोल नव्हता. काय गरज नाही ना, त्या बँक्स कमर्शियल होत्या, त्या नॅशनलाइज नव्हत्या. And when they do the 1969, the number of the rural branches increase in less than 25% of the total. Right. And 1969 to about 35.3% of the total in March 2017. That percentage is rising. पहिलं किती होतं 25%, नंतर ते 35% झालं. And commercial banks leading agriculture amount to the 75% of the total institutional credit. Clear? So that banks is lead and they offering the loans. Commercial banks leading classification when they are the offer loan. How is the base of that loan? Yes, again short term. सगळ्यांचं लक्षात ठेवा, लोन त्या एकाच पर्पज साठी. लोन टर्म त्याच आहेत आणि गरजा पण त्याच आहेत. शॉर्ट टर्म म्हणले कोणतं ऑलरेडी बोललो होतो तुम्हाला, फर्टिलायझर, सीड्स, पेस्टिसाइड्स. क्लिअर? and that more than 50% of commercial banks agriculture finance in the category. म्हणजे शॉर्ट टर्म मध्ये जवळपास 50% फायनान्स याच्या थ्रू होता. नंतर आहे मीडियम टर्म. that banks medium term to the do not encourage the long term finance. त्याला आपण मीडियम मनी म्हणू किंवा लॉंग टर्म पण म्हणू. क्लिअर? and this is usually used to the purchase cattle. I already told you in our what do you say, not institutional source, right? Equipments and recent years that banks have become liberal and therefore have widened the scope of medium lending term. आणि तो स्कोप वाढवलाय. Clear? that some medium term lendings that extend to the long term. Nearby 50% of banks lending to the agriculture for under the development groups and all. So yes, medium term under commercial banks give to the offering loans. Second one, yes, medium term and long term, some projects come to the agriculture, long term loans also provided by agriculture. Some finance is a direct finance. You don't think that direct finance means cash in hand. So then what is the difference? No difference. Anybody have logic? Direct finance means what? So already whatever come to your mind, sir, give the farmer directly money. No, not. Cancel. So some cases, commercial bank give the direct finance. Yes. Anybody know the what is meant by direct finance? Okay, see here. Whether you take a loan, home loan, so that banks give to the cash you. समजा तुम्ही बिल्डर कडनं एखादा फ्लॅट घेतलात आणि त्यानं तुम्ही लोन घेतलात विदाउट एनी थर्ड पार्टी म्हणाल. नो रॉंग आन्सर. आता काय तुम्हाला सांगितलं की समजा तुम्ही बिल्डर कडनं फ्लॅट घेतलात एखाद्या बँकेकडनं लोन काढून, तर ती समजा एचडीएफसी कडनं तुम्ही लोन घेतलात तर तुम्हाला हातात कॅश देतात ते एचडीएफसी वाले, ही कॅश घ्या आणि त्या बिल्डरला द्या. मग काय करतात त्या? Yes, please. What they do exactly? Huh? बोला. ते लोन तुमच्या हातात देत नाही, ते बिल्डरच्या अकाउंटला डायरेक्ट जमा होतं प्रोसिजर केल्यानंतर. आर यू अंडरस्टँड? तसं अग्रिकल्चर साठी लागणारे पंप्स असतील, सीड्स असतील, ट्रॅक्टर असेल, ट्यूबवेल असेल, विहीर ट्यूबवेल्स, और बोरवेल असेल, बोरिंग माहिती आहे ना, आणि असं छोटस सर्कल लिफ्ट करत असं, that is a borewell, ट्यूबवेल, विहीर. So give the loans directly. तुम्हाला ट्यूबवेल्सला असं काम आम्हीच करणार, दुसऱ्या लोकांना लावणार हो, पण ते तुम्हाला बघून ते त्या लोकांना ज्यांना कामाला लावलंय त्यांच्या अकाउंटला ते मनी जास्त डायरेक्ट जमा होणार, ज्यांना तुम्ही कामाला लावलंय त्यांना. So such types of finance we can say the direct finance. And another one, finance, indirect finance means bank give to the loans through the third parties, means it is generated to the cooperative societies of various types of enable them that function is more effective. Commercial bank also subscribe the debenture, and central land development banks, also corporations, state government and other agencies through they are the give the loans to the farmers. Clear? So this is one way to give to them. And one more important terms in commercial bank, that is a lead bank scheme. That scheme launched by RBI that make the individual commercial banks responsible for the development of individual district. That scheme was really popular. Means specific district there is one bank, so that banks give the responsibility you take initiative for to the offering loans to in your district farmers. Are you understand what I tell you here? काही बँकेला राइट्स दिले की तुम्ही तुमच्या एरियात जेवढे काही ऍग्रीकल्चर साठी प्रोजेक्ट आहेत त्याच्यावरती तुम्ही वर्कआउट करा आणि त्यांना फायनान्स करा. म्हणजे तुम्ही तिथे काय करा, थोडक्यात यू लीड इन दॅट एरियाज. You must be what do there? In the areas you purposefully take the initiatives, and especially the banks were expected to the prepare district credit planning, that is called DCP, and in the terms of both physical and financial target for the overall development of district through the bank, coordinating efforts to the all three institutional finance agencies. There are that agencies comes to the branch of commercial banks, regional rural banks and government banks. The banks were given to the responsibility of monitoring progress. म्हणजे ह्या तिघाला त्यांनी परत मॉनिटरिंगची रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दिली. This was a joint venture wherein the different institutions put together and exercise expertise to the financial strain to the help agricultural general and rural areas of particular. Means here that lead banks was really what we say, that one is a good decision under the banking, because always what we say, that apex institution or apex bank, one bank never watch to the regional and all rural areas. So one come to that specific areas, one bank, they can control the activities or they can be work on them. जर त्या एरियात तशा बँक जर त्यांना जर तसे राईट्स दिले इंडिपेंडेंटली तर ते चांगलं वर्क करू शकतात आणि त्याच्यात चांगले रिटर्न सुद्धा त्यांना मिळू शकतात. क्लिअर? सो आय थिंक टुडे आय एम स्टॉप हिअर. टुमॉरो मॉर्निंग लेक्चर we can continue the same topic. Clear? Now I stop here.